All right, let's talk about the Lakers then, because if it is a day that ends in Y, we have to talk about the Lakers. Marcus Smart, waived by the Washington Wizards. He immediately signs a 2-year deal, player option on the second year for Marcus Smart. Marcus has had a rough go of it the last couple of years, only played 54 games between Memphis and Washington the last 2 years. He's certainly not the defensive player of the year guy we saw, what was it, about 5 years ago now, but he still is a pretty productive defensive player. At least the Lakers are hoping so. So I'll ask you kind of the same question. Like, how big and how significant of a pickup is Marcus Smart?
I mean, I just don't know enough to answer that right now. I don't know what condition he's going to be in. Because he hasn't played a ton, I don't know where his defensive chops are at the moment. I mean, I am a huge Marcus Smart believer. You and I both loved how he played in Boston, but it is hard to know exactly what the Lakers are getting. There is completely a best case scenario, but there is also a worst case scenario. I know he's a great locker room guy, so that's good. But I can't really evaluate. I don't know. It's hard for me to sit here and say, this is how it's going to be, because we just haven't seen enough of A, his durability going forward, and B, sort of where the defense is at the moment. I think he's going to have to play it out for us to figure out if this was a good move or not. I mean, to me, the biggest reaction has been pretty funny, seeing all the Celtics fans who just are beside themselves that Marcus Smart would be in a Lakers uniform.
Yeah, that's not going to go over well in Boston the one time the Lakers visit next year, that's for sure. But if you're the Lakers, I think it's a really smart, poor choice of words, right choice of words, smart flyer for them to take on Marcus Smart. It's not a big contract, as we mentioned. Basically a 2-year deal at a very low number by today's NBA standards. No doubt Marcus Smart has lost a step defensively. I don't think at this point of his career he's quick enough anymore to defend pure point guards or the faster guards in the conference. I'm talking about guys like De'Aaron Fox, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Steph Curry, Anthony Edwards, Jamal Murray. I think he'd have a tough time doing that. At the same time, he's still capable of guarding the bulkier 2 guards, the stronger 3 men. And look, we've seen him at times defend 4s and 5s in certain situations. He's a really good, in Boston, where they ran a lot of guard forward screens. He set ball screens in Boston. And I think that's still going to be of value to the Lakers, and as is his ability to catch and shoot. I think he was around 35% last year from 3 between the 2 teams that he was on. If he can be that kind of 3-point shooter and not have some of his crazier moments where he starts chucking up threes like he's Steph, I think that he can be a real part of that rotation, because you look at the way their backcourt is shaping up right now. Like, Luka's a minus defender. Austin Reeves is a minus defender. You've got Jared Vanderbilt in the rotation that can conceivably defend backcourt guys, but his health is always in question. You get Marcus Smart, and look, if you can squeeze 60 games out of him next year and he's able to be like 75% of the player he was in Boston, that's a guy that's going to play real minutes for you. That's a guy that might even start for you. If you do like a 3-ish guard lineup with Smart, Reeves, and LeBron Luka on the perimeter, and play LeBron more at power forward, whoever at center, I think you've got a decent mix there. I think it's an ad. It's a significant ad, I think, for the Lakers if Marcus Smart can give them something. I think the one downside, though, is, you went to a lot of Lakers games, so did I. Jordan Goodwin's not bad.
That's literally what I was about to ask you.
Yeah,
so Marcus Smart is a name brand, right? Jordan Goodwin is more sort of, if you live in the LA area and you see him play a lot, you realize quite how good he is, or talk to coaches who bring him up. Is the Marcus Smart acquisition good enough for you that you're going to match that up against Jordan Goodwin?
I don't know. Somebody is going to scoop Jordan Goodwin up, and I'm curious to see how he plays next year. It's probably going to be a situation where he's going to play an enhanced role, so we're going to get the real breadth of Jordan Goodwin's talents. Marcus Smart, I think, is more versatile defensively, certainly. Mm-hmm. But Jordan Goodwin may have a higher ceiling at this point. He's a young guy who's only going to get better in the years ahead. Look, you asked me before about which of the 2 LA teams, their rosters I liked. I like the Lakers, because of the likely durability of their 2 stars compared to the history that Kawhi has, and to a lesser degree, James Harden. But I also think that the upside for the Lakers is more significant. I think that Marcus, if he can get back to being, again, 75, 80% of the guy he was in Boston.
Mhm.
And we even talked about Maxi Kleber, coming back next year. Maxi Kleber went to the finals playing opposite Luka Doncic, right? Like he's a 3-point shooter who can defend multiple front court positions. Like I think at some point, I think Maxi Kleber's a better fit to start up with Jackson Hayes personally.
I agree.
Or not start, I guess, but to take the
Would
minutes
be the
behind
next
DeAndre
option,
Ayton.
yeah.
Yeah, DeAndre Ayton is going to be the starter there. But
Yep.
I just think that, and throw Ayton in that mix too. Like, what's his upside? Does he get reinvigorated playing for a contender once again and, kind of fighting back or against the doubters? I've been among them that believe he's not, he's not as good as the numbers that he's been putting up. But, Kleber coming off the bench, Marcus Smart either starting or coming off the bench.
Mhm.
It's not bad. Like if that team was in the Eastern Conference, we'd be talking to them as a top 4 team. Like that's, I know it's the West and it's going to be a rock fight every game, but I look at that team and I say, all right, I can see them being a top 5 team in the West to finish the regular season.
Yeah, 100%. No, I think it's super interesting, and I just need to wait a little bit to see what Marcus is bringing to the table at this point in his career. But you and I know how gritty he is, how much effort he's going to give, how good he's going to be in the locker room, and if there's anyone who can maximize him in whatever current state he's in, that's JJ Redick. I mean, I just think he's going to use him in exactly the right way. So I'm fascinated. I think both teams. I mean, it's a hard question only because both teams are really set up in an interesting way. And, we talked last week about, I just don't believe LeBron James is leaving the Lakers. If you're talking about a team that can compete now, the Lakers, I mean, they might not be favored, but you never know what happens with teams as you go through a season and injuries and this and that. No one expected the Pacers to be in the finals. If you told me at the end of the year the Lakers were in the finals because of, by the way, I just want to make this caveat, because of what might happen to some of the other teams, it's not crazy. Right? So again, I don't believe LeBron is going anywhere. And I think part of the reason is this is a team that has a really super interesting roster, and Marcus Smart adds to that.
This is the year, and I feel like we say this every year, but this is the year that if I'm Rob Pelinka, if I'm JJ Redick, I'm sitting down with LeBron and I'm saying, you're maxing out at 65 games this year, and you're maxing out at 30 minutes per game this year. Like, if you're going to give yourself a chance, you've got to get the very best of LeBron James in the playoffs. And I know he wants to play Rachel. I know he'd play all 82 or 79 of them, whatever it may be. And I know he wants to, when he's out there on the floor, he doesn't want to play on any kind of minutes restriction. But we've seen that he can run out of gas the last couple of years when you get into the postseason. And every series is going to be a street fight, for the Lakers and for every other team in the conference. I would say, look, we'll get you to, if you really care about all NBA and that stuff, we'll get you to 65 games, but that's it. Like, that's it. We're stopping it right there. We've got to give you 17 games off to make sure that you're, I think my math's right there. Yeah, 17 games off to make sure that you're as rested as you possibly can be. And I'm sorry, but 30 minutes a game is your ceiling. We want to keep also your minutes in the 20s. Like, he's age 41. He's in age 41 season. Are you with me on that one? Like, you've got to have a conversation with LeBron to say, hey, man, we've got a pretty good team, we think. We've got Luka Doncic, who strapped the team to his back and got him to the finals 2 seasons ago. You're our second best player. We've got to make sure that you are 100% when we get to April.
Yeah, I absolutely think you're right. Also, I know the last coach the Lakers had thought he had reached an agreement with LeBron on that exact thing, and LeBron blew through the minutes restriction and kept saying, I don't want to come out of the game. I want to come back in. I think it is hard for a coach, even, with the symbiosis that JJ and LeBron have. If in the moment LeBron James wants to keep playing and does not want to come out of the game and wants to go back in when he's taking a blow, like, that is a really difficult position for a coach to look at him and say, no, screw you. And the repercussions of that go way beyond that one game, obviously. So yes, they need to sit down and have that conversation. I completely agree with you. It is what I would do if I was running that team. It is up to LeBron if he wants to listen and play ball. And we'll just have to see, because it is what would be in his ultimate best interests. I just think there's no question about that. It would help his team get further in the playoffs. And by the way, keep him healthy, because we've seen in the past few years he hasn't been quite as durable as he was early in his career, because, that's how aging works. But he's got to want it. It's like, you can't make someone quit smoking. They've got to want to quit smoking. I kind of see it the same way. They can have all the talks they want with him. He either buys in or he doesn't.
The quit smoking. I had to think about that for a second, but you're right. Yes, it
Yeah.
is yeah.
You ever had someone close to you want them to quit smoking? It's not going to happen until they want to.
Yeah, I agree with that.